Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Alex, and today I want to talk about something very useful for English learners staying at a hotel. I will tell a simple story step by step. It will help you learn common words and phrases that you can use when you travel. Let's start from the beginning. I arrive at the hotel after a long trip. I'm a little tired, but also happy because my holiday starts now. The hotel is big and modern. There are many windows, and the entrance looks very clean. I walk with my suitcase to the front door. When I enter, I see the reception desk. A man is standing there. He is the receptionist. He smiles and says, "Hello, welcome to our hotel." I say, "Hello, I have a reservation." He asks for my name. I say my name slowly and clearly. He checks the computer and says, "Yes, Mr. Alex, you have a room for 3 nights." I feel relaxed because everything is correct. Then he gives me a form to fill in. It has simple questions like name, passport number, country, signature. I take a pen and write my information. After that, the receptionist gives me a key card. He says, "Your room is on the third floor, room 305. The elevator is over there." I say, "Thank you very much." He smiles again and says, "You're welcome. Enjoy your stay." Now I walk to the elevator. I press the button and wait. I look around the hotel lobby. It is quiet with soft music playing. There are chairs and small tables where people are sitting and talking. I think this place is nice. I hope the room is also good. The elevator opens. I go inside with my suitcase and press number 3. The doors close and I go up. The elevator stops on the third floor. The doors open slowly. I take my suitcase and walk into a long corridor. The corridor is quiet. I see many doors on both sides. Each door has a number. I look at my key card. My room number is 305, so I start walking. I find the door. I stop for a second and take a breath. I feel a little excited because I want to see the room. I put the key card near the door sensor. I hear a small sound, beep. The green light turns on. I open the door. Inside the room. When I enter, I say quietly, "Wow, the room is clean and comfortable." There is a big bed in the middle. The bed has white sheets and 2 soft pillows. Next to the bed, there are small tables with lamps. On the left side, I see a wardrobe. I open it and there are hangers for my clothes. I also see a safe box inside the wardrobe. I can use it to keep my money and passport safe. On the right side, there's a desk. On the desk, there's a small lamp, a phone, and some paper. There's also a chair. I walk to the window. I open the curtain. I see the city outside. There are many buildings, cars, and people. The view is nice, especially because it is late afternoon and the light is soft. Bathroom. Then I go to the bathroom. It is small but very clean. There is a shower, a sink, and a mirror. I also see clean towels on a shelf. I turn on the water in the sink. The water is warm. Everything works well. I feel happy because a clean bathroom is very important for me. On the wall, I see small bottles of shampoo and soap. I take one and read it slowly to practice my English. First moments in the room. I go back to the bed and sit down. It is soft and comfortable. I relax for a moment. I say to myself, "This is nice. I can rest here." I take off my jacket and put my suitcase next to the wardrobe. I open it and start taking out my clothes. I put them on the shelf. Then I sit on the chair near the desk. I take my phone and check the Wi-Fi information. There's a card on the table with the password. I connect to the internet. I feel more comfortable now. The room feels like my temporary home. Small problem. After a few minutes, I notice something small. The air conditioner is a little cold. I try to change the temperature, but I don't understand the buttons. So I decide to call reception. I pick up the phone in the room and dial 0. A receptionist answers. Hello, reception. I say, hello, my room is 305. The air conditioner is too cold. Can someone help me? The receptionist says, of course, we will send someone soon. I say, thank you. Now I wait and relax on the bed. I'm sitting on the bed, relaxing when there's a knock on the door. Knock, knock. I stand up and walk to the door. I open it carefully. A hotel worker is standing there. He is polite and says, good evening. I'm here to help with the air conditioner. I say, thank you, please come in. He enters the room and goes to the air conditioner. He presses a few buttons and checks it. He explains in simple English. It was set to low temperature. Now I change it for you. After a minute, he says, now it should be better. I feel the air getting warmer. I say, yes, it is better now. Thank you very much. He smiles and says, you're welcome. If you need anything, just call reception. Then he leaves the room, feeling comfortable. Now the room feels perfect. I sit on the bed again and feel relaxed. I decide I want to explore the hotel a little bit. I take my key card and leave the room. I lock the door and go back to the elevator. Go into the lobby. I go down to the first floor. When the elevator opens, I see the lobby again. It is still calm and nice. People are sitting, reading, or talking quietly. I walk to the reception desk. I want to ask about hotel facilities. The receptionist smiles and says, hello again. Can I help you? I ask, do you have a restaurant in the hotel? She answers, yes, we have a restaurant on the second floor. It is open until 10 p.m. I say, great. And is there a gym? She nods and says, yes, the gym is on the first floor next to the pool. I say, thank you. That is very helpful. Exploring the gym. I decide to look at the gym first. I walk down the corridor and find the gym door. I open it and look inside. There are treadmills, bikes, and some weights. A few people are exercising. The room is clean and bright. I do not exercise yet. I just look around and think, maybe tomorrow I will come here. Swimming pool area. Next to the gym, I see the swimming pool area. I go inside. It is warm and quiet. The pool water is blue and clean. A few people are swimming slowly. Some people are sitting on chairs near the pool. I sit for a few minutes and relax. I like the peaceful feeling. Back to my room. After that, I decide to go back to my room. I take the elevator and go up to the third floor again. When I enter my room, I feel comfortable and safe. I think about my plans for tomorrow. It is evening now. I feel a bit hungry, so I decide to go to the hotel restaurant. I take the elevator down to the second floor. When I arrive, I see a nice restaurant. It is not too noisy. The lights are soft, and there are many small tables with white tablecloths. A waiter comes to me and says, good evening. Do you have a reservation? I say, no, I don't. He smiles and says, no problem. Please follow me. He takes me to a small table near the window. I sit down and look at the menu. Looking at the menu is in English. I understand most words, but some are new for me. There are different meals. Chicken with rice, pasta with vegetables, soup, salad, fish. I feel a little unsure, but I choose. I would like chicken with rice, please. The waiter says, good choice. And something to drink. I think and say, Just water, please. He writes everything down and says, your order will be ready soon. Waiting for food. I sit and wait. I look around the restaurant. Other people are eating and talking quietly. The atmosphere is calm. After about 15 minutes, the waiter brings my food. He puts it on the table and says, here you are. I say, thank you. The food looks very good. I start eating. It tastes nice and warm. I feel happy because I am very hungry. Small problem with the order. After a few minutes, I notice something. I asked for water, but I got a bottle of sparkling water instead. I don't really like it. So I call the waiter and say politely, excuse me, I ordered still water, not sparkling water. The waiter looks surprised and says, oh, I'm sorry. I will change it. He takes the bottle and brings me still water instead. Then he says, sorry for the mistake. I smile and say, it's okay, thank you. Finishing dinner. I finish my meal slowly. I feel full and satisfied. I sit for a few more minutes and drink my water. Then I decide to go back to my room. Before leaving, I say to the waiter, everything was good. Thank you. He replies, thank you. Have a nice evening. Back in the room. I go back to my room. I sit on the bed and relax. I think about my day, the travel, the hotel, the room, and the restaurant. I feel comfortable and ready for rest. I wake up in my hotel room in the morning. The sunlight comes through the window. I feel rested and calm. I sit on the bed for a few seconds and think. Today I want to explore the city. Then I get up and go to the bathroom. I wash my face and brush my teeth. The water is warm and the bathroom is still clean and comfortable. After that, I get dressed. I choose simple clothes because I want to walk a lot today. Going to breakfast. I leave my room and go down to the restaurant for breakfast. It is early morning, so the hotel is quiet. When I arrive at the restaurant, a staff member says, good morning. Breakfast is this way. I follow him to a big room with many tables. There is a buffet with different food. Breakfast buffet. I see many options. Eggs, bread, cheese, fruit, cereal, juice, coffee and tea. Everything looks fresh and good. I take a plate and start choosing food. I take eggs, bread, some cheese, and fruit. I also take a glass of orange juice. I sit near the window and start eating. The food is simple but very good. Talking to another guest. While I am eating, a man sits at the next table. He looks friendly. He says, good morning. I answer, good morning. He asks, are you here for holiday? I say, yes, just a short holiday. He smiles and says, nice. This city is beautiful. You will enjoy it. I say, I hope so. We talk a little bit about travel. He tells me about places to visit in the city. I listen carefully because it sounds interesting. Planning my day. After breakfast, I go back to my room. I take my phone and check maps. I decide to visit the city center, a museum, a park. I write a small plan in my notebook. I say to myself, first the city center, then maybe the museum. Getting ready to go out. I put on my jacket and take my bag. I also take my hotel key card. Before leaving, I check everything. Phone heavy check mark. Money heavy check mark. Room key heavy check mark. I leave the room and go to the elevator. I feel ready for a new day outside the hotel. I leave the hotel and start walking outside. The weather is nice. It is not too hot and not too cold. I feel comfortable. I look at my map on my phone and walk toward the city center. The streets are busy. There are cars, bicycles, and people everywhere. Some people are going to work and some are tourists like me. I see shops, cafes, and small restaurants. Everything looks interesting. First stop, city center. After about 20 minutes, I arrive at the city center. There's a big square with many people. I stop for a moment and look around. I think this place is very alive. There are street musicians playing music. Some people are sitting on benches, eating snacks, or drinking coffee. I take a few photos with my phone. I want to remember this moment. Visiting a café. After walking a bit more, I feel tired. I decide to go into a small cafe. I open the door and go inside. A waitress says, "Hello, take a seat anywhere." I sit near the window. The cafe is quiet and warm. I order a coffee and a small sandwich. The waitress asks, "Do you want milk and sugar in your coffee?" I say, "Yes, please." Small problem. After a few minutes, the waitress brings my order. I take a sip of coffee, but I realize something is not what I ordered. It is black coffee, but I asked for milk and sugar. I wait a moment and then politely call the waitress. "Excuse me, I think there is a mistake. I asked for milk and sugar." She looks at the cup and says, "Oh, sorry. I will fix it right away." She takes the coffee back. A few minutes later, she brings a new one. This time it is correct. She says, "Sorry again." I smile and say, "No problem. Thank you." Now I can enjoy my coffee. Walking again. After finishing my snack and coffee, I leave the cafe. I continue walking through the city. I see a small park nearby. I decide to go there. The park is green and peaceful. There are trees, flowers, and people walking dogs. I sit on a bench for a few minutes. I relax and think about my trip, returning to the hotel. After some time, I check my phone and see the time. It is already late afternoon. I decide to go back to the hotel. I take the same road back. My legs are a little tired, but I feel happy. When I arrive at the hotel, I go inside the lobby. It feels quiet and safe again. I take the elevator to my room. I come back to my room after walking in the city. I feel tired, so I want to take a short rest. I sit on the bed and put my bag on the floor. Everything is quiet, but after a few minutes, I notice a problem. The lights in my room start flickering. They go on and off. It is not normal. I look at the lamp near the bed. I try to turn it off and on, but it does not help. I think, this is strange. Calling reception. I pick up the phone in the room and call reception again. A receptionist answers. "Hello, reception. How can I help you?" I say, "Hello. I have a problem in my room. The lights are flickering." She says, "Thank you for telling us. Someone will come to check it." I say, "Okay, thank you." Waiting for help. I wait in the room. I sit on the chair and look out the window. The room is a little darker because the lights are not stable. After about 10 minutes, there's a knock on the door. Knock, knock. I open the door. A hotel technician is standing there. He says, "Good afternoon. I'm here to check the lights." I say, "Please come in." Fixing the problem. He goes to the wall switch and the lamp. He checks the wires and the electricity carefully. He explains, "It looks like a small connection problem. I will fix it quickly." He works for a few minutes. I wait quietly. Then he says, "Now it should be okay. Can you check the light?" I turn on the lamp. It works normally now. No flickering. I say, "Yes, it's fine now. Thank you very much." He smiles and says, "No problem. If you need anything else, call reception." Then he leaves the room, feeling relaxed again. Now everything is normal again. I feel relieved. I sit on the bed and think, "Good, now I can relax." I take my phone and scroll a little. I also drink some water. The room feels calm and comfortable again. Evening plans. Later, I start thinking about dinner. I don't feel like going outside today. So I decide. Maybe I will order room service tonight. I take the hotel menu from the desk and look at it. There are simple meals like burgers, pasta, soup, salads. I choose something in my mind, but I will order later. Now I rest for a while and enjoy the quiet room. It is evening now. I'm still in my hotel room. I feel a little hungry, but I don't want to go out again. So I decide to use room service. I take the hotel menu from the desk and look at it again. I read slowly and choose my meal. A chicken burger, fries, and a bottle of water. I pick up the phone in the room and call reception. A staff member answers. Hello, room service. I say, hello, I would like to order dinner to room 305, please. He says, of course. What would you like? I repeat my order clearly. One chicken burger, fries, and water, please. He says, okay, your order will arrive in about 30 minutes. I say, thank you. Waiting for dinner. I sit on the bed and wait. I watch some videos on my phone. The room is quiet and comfortable. After about 30 minutes, there's a knock on the door. Knock, knock. I open the door. A hotel worker is standing there with a small cart. He says, good evening, your order. I smile and say, thank you. He brings the food inside and puts it on the table. It looks good. The smell is nice. Small mistake again. I start eating. The burger is tasty and the fries are hot. But after a few minutes, I notice something. I ordered water, but I got juice instead. I'm a little surprised, but I stay calm. I call the worker again. He is still in the hallway. Excuse me, I ordered water, not juice. He looks a bit confused and says, oh, sorry. I will bring water right away. He quickly returns with a bottle of water and says, sorry for the mistake. I answer, it's okay, thank you. Now everything is correct. Finishing dinner, I continue eating. The food is simple but very good. I feel full and satisfied. I sit back on the chair and relax. I think, today was a long day. I walked a lot. I drink my water and look out the window. The city lights are on. It looks beautiful at night. Evening relaxation. I go back to the bed. I lie down and rest. I check my phone and write a short message to my friend about my trip. Then I turn off the main light. Only a small lamp is on. The room is quiet. I feel calm and ready to sleep soon. It is my last morning in the hotel. I wake up and feel a bit mixed emotions. I am relaxed, but also a little sad because my stay is almost finished. I sit on the bed and think. Time passes quickly. Then I get up, wash my face, and pack my bag. I put my clothes inside the suitcase carefully. I check the room slowly to make sure I don't forget anything. I look under the bed, in the wardrobe, in the bathroom. Everything seems fine. Breakfast on the last day. I go down for breakfast one more time. The restaurant feels familiar now. I take a simple breakfast, toast, eggs, coffee, fruit. I sit and eat slowly. I enjoy the quiet morning. A staff member asks, did you enjoy your stay? I answer, yes, it was very nice. Thank you. He smiles and says, we are happy to hear that. Small checkout question. After breakfast, I go to the reception desk. The receptionist says, good morning. Are you checking out today? I say, yes, I am. She asks, did you use any extra services like minibar or laundry? I think for a moment and say, no, I didn't. She checks the system and prepares my bill. But then I notice something. There is a small charge on my bill that I don't understand. I politely ask, "Excuse me, what is this charge for?" She looks at the screen and says, "Oh, this is a mistake. Sorry, I will remove it." I say, "Okay, thank you." She corrects it quickly. Final checkout. She prints the final bill. I pay with my card. She says, "Everything is fine. Thank you for staying with us." I say, "Thank you. I had a good stay." She gives me a smile and says, "Have a safe trip." Leaving the room, I go back to my room one last time. I take my suitcase and look around. I feel a bit emotional because I spent good days here. I open the door and leave the room for the last time. I go to the elevator, go down, and walk through the lobby. The hotel now feels like a memory. Goodbye, hotel. Before leaving, I stop for a moment at the entrance. I look back at the building. I think it was a good experience. Then I go outside with my suitcase and start my journey home. I'm outside the hotel now with my suitcase. The air feels fresh and the street is busy like always. People are walking, cars are moving, and life continues normally. I stand for a moment and look at the hotel building. I think about everything that happened inside. Arriving tired, meeting the staff, staying in my room, eating at the restaurant, solving small problems, walking in the city, and relaxing at night. It feels like a full story. Going to the station/next place. I take my phone and check my next direction. I need to go to the train station. I walk slowly with my suitcase. It is not too far, but I feel a little tired after the trip. On the way, I think, this was a good experience. I learned many useful words in English. I also remember the people at the hotel. They were polite and helpful. At the station, I arrive at the station. There are many people, trains coming and going. I check the screen for my train. Everything is on time. I sit on a bench and wait. I put my suitcase next to me. I feel calm. I think about the hotel again. It was not perfect, but it was comfortable and safe. Small problems happened, but everything was solved quickly. Final reflection. While waiting, I say to myself, travel is not only about places. It is also about experiences. I feel a bit proud because I managed everything in English. I checked in. I asked questions. I ordered food. I solved problems. It was simple English, but useful. Goodbye. Finally, I hear the announcement for my train. I stand up, take my suitcase, and walk to the platform. Before getting on the train, I take one last breath and think. This trip was good. Maybe I will come back again someday. I step into the train and find my seat. The door closes. My hotel journey is finished. Thank you for listening to this podcast series at the hotel.
Tell me why you want to learn English. The 3 most interesting comments will get 10 English lessons absolutely free.